Shout out to LastPass for sponsoring a portion of this video. It's an awesome password manager I've been using for the past year. I feel like I'm making one of those like BuzzFeed videos. Sometimes I don't make these talking videos because I'm scared they will be too boring, but I come with a very important topic: performance updates with the MacBook and the latest version of Premiere, and more largely just Apple computers, Mac OS. So you guys know that I've had my own journey with my MacBook. I've been severely disappointed in the last line of MacBooks. My 2012 was the jam. I basically built my entire YouTube channel on it. So when I bought the new 2016, I had some issues with the keyboard.
It's just a small number. It's like 5 people.
It is a bad keyboard.
I was now a part of dongle life, no SD card, or no just USB type A. I'm just asking for like one USB type A, not even an HDMI, but you get nothing. You get like 4 USB-C ports. Also, Apple would never dare to add a touchscreen on a laptop. That's something that I've grown to really love. So just all of these things with hardware reliability, upgradability, were reasons why I've been kind of like very disappointed in the MacBook, and I made the switch. Those were a lot of the main reasons, but also I was seeing that render times in Premiere were just taking so long compared to a laptop that maybe had an NVIDIA GPU in it, or just the latest processors. But guess what? Apple has done something so non-Apple by being the first laptops to actually upgrade to the latest Intel 9th gen processors. So, Snazzy Labs, amazing YouTuber. I sent out a tweet. Guys, does anyone have an i9 MacBook I can borrow? He sent me his. So, Snazzy Labs, thank you so much. Everyone go subscribe to him. Tell him thank you so much, because guess what? We're gonna do some Premiere test. Can you see this laptop in the shot? Is it okay if I keep it on my lap? There's so much stuff to say in this video. A lot of times when quantity goes down on my YouTube channel, that's because I'm trying out a new laptop. So I dropped everything and used this i9 new MacBook Pro in Premiere, edited some videos, and guess what? It's a very exciting time because now export times don't exceed the actual length of the video. It would be very normal in Premiere if you had some adjustment layers, some coloring, that a 10-minute video would take about 18 minutes to export. That was very normal. All of a sudden, if you have a MacBook in Premiere, you've updated to the latest version, you've noticed, oh my gosh, things have gotten so much quicker. A 10-minute video is now exporting in like 4 minutes. So spoiler alert, why can't I say that? Premiere has gotten much faster. But before we get into why, because I want to get into the why, let's just talk about one thing. Let's just do one thing. As someone who edits on a Main Gear F131, a Dell XPS 9570, also an iMac at my apartment. Yeah, that's new news. I'll probably make a video about that later. Even though I'm still primarily Windows, I'm pretty much like, I don't care what you use. I hope that my videos can help you just make a choice what's right for you, because we got options. That's what's great about options. Because Apple was actually pretty quick in putting the 9th gen i9 processors, I waited to get my hands on a Windows laptop with the latest 9th gen i9. And I wanted to wait until I could get almost the exact specs, because there's really no point in comparing if you're comparing different generations of CPUs, since Premiere is such a processor heavy application, and then having graphics and all the other things helps on top when you're rendering out effects over the video that you're exporting. So before I get more into the MacBook, I wanted to actually do a proper test, because I don't see people comparing like apples to apples. It's really like apples and oranges with different parts. So Quinn's MacBook and this Asus ZenBook Pro Duo, which I'm doing a full video on soon. I love this thing. They both have the latest 9th gen i9 9980HK. That just means, it's like the highest, almost desktop caliber processor. We have 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD. On this guy is the RTX 2060 for graphics, and then of course on the MacBook Pro you got that Vega 20 graphics. So both these have top of the line graphics. On the Windows PC we just have NVIDIA, and on the MacBook of course AMD. But everything else is exactly the same, literally the same exact SKU of the processor. The biggest difference, well, is the cooling. This is kind of a thick boy. Also would like to note that the spec'd out MacBook is $3,949, and this is $2,999. So we're seeing a $1,000 price difference. Here is a 45-minute 1080p interview that I exported on these almost same exact spec laptops, and let's see what happens. And away we go. start. So initially, this is saying estimated time remaining only 12 minutes. That is insane. 20 minutes on the MacBook. We are finishing up. 30 seconds remaining. MacBook still has some work to do. Oh my gosh, 26 seconds. If this is gonna finish a 40-minute video in like 10 minutes, that's insane. Oh, and it's done. Wow. So, final time, 9 minutes and 20 seconds on the ZenBook. I'm sorry, but did you, what? 9 minutes. This, like, dominated that video in the MacBook. Again, traditionally that would have been probably over an hour export, so that time was very impressive for the MacBook. But when it comes to having a video with a ton of layers, a ton of color grading, I had to put a mask on someone's face to change the color. I think that's where properly being able to cool the processor and having that 2060 graphic with the CUDA processing just really comes into play. I mean, it smoked the MacBook. Okay, but we've seen some videos with the MacBook also beating Windows laptops. So why is that? Well, I was like, what if we just do straight up exporting of like our raw H.264 files? You know, I was using Sony a7 III and the GH5, which is what you guys will use a lot. Those are, you know, typical codecs. So let's just try no effects, just exporting the video. I would never actually be in that scenario because I always have some sort of effects over, but let's just try. And guys, that's where I was shooketh. The Asus came in at 919, which wasn't much of a difference at all from the previous one, but the MacBook exported it with the adjustment layers turned off, no effects or anything, in 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So if you have a video with 0 effects, then yeah, the MacBook can beat out a Windows laptop by a minute. So take that as you will. I just wanted to show a practical example of like effects and then, you know, show a longer form thing since I do a lot of interviews and podcasts. So before getting into the nitty gritty of why is Premiere faster on MacBooks, on Mac OS machines, I just want to say thank you LastPass so much for sponsoring this video. I obviously hop in between a lot of different laptops, desktops, phones, so LastPass was really clutch for remembering all of my passwords. So that means I just have to remember one master password and I just add the Chrome extension and boom, LastPass autofills all of my passwords into all of my social media accounts, email accounts. It's a lifesaver. Whenever I need to make a new account, LastPass generates a secure password, stores it so I can use it every time I need to log in to that account. You can sync across all of your devices for free. Literally for free. I've been using the free version for the past year and I have stored almost 100 passwords. Of course, if you're maybe managing passwords for an entire family, you want extra features, it's only $3 a month for the premium version, but everything that I've mentioned so far, you can just use the free version. If you want to check it out, hit the link in the description below, go to lastpass.com. It's been so easy to just move all of my work to Quinn's MacBook for the past 2 weeks. All I had to do again is just add my LastPass Chrome extension and boom, I was in business. Make sure to check out the link in the description below. Thank you LastPass for sponsoring this portion of the video. Okay, the MacBook and Premiere. So Premiere's improved performance with Mac OS really has to do with 3 things. So 1, Intel QuickSync. Number 2, Mac OS Video Toolbox APIs. And number 3,
The metal!
If you don't know what Metal is, it's Apple's way of providing almost direct access to the GPU. So applications can utilize all of that good graphics power. So just like CUDA is for NVIDIA graphics, Metal is essentially just a set of APIs to interact with the GPU. Of course, this can get very complex, and I'm sure this video is already like 20 minutes long, but all you need to know is Metal, using Metal instead of OpenCL. In Premiere, you're gonna see on average a 20% uptake, boost in performance. There's the right word. Intel QuickSync is an actual hardware component of Intel's integrated GPU. And so this accelerates the encoding and decoding of H.264 and H.265 codecs. Kodiak. It's like Kodak film. So going back to the people who are comparing MacBooks to Windows laptops, I've been seeing some Intel Xeon processors, which are usually like the top of the top, right? They're above, even above the i9. Well, Intel QuickSync traditionally hasn't been in Xeon processors like i5s, i7s, i9s. So even though a Xeon processor is fancier, it's more expensive, you're actually not gonna see those premier performance boosts that you expect by buying something that's more expensive than an i9. However, I reached out to the people at Premier and they say that's actually going to change. The iMac Pro is actually the first computer to use a Xeon processor that has actually utilized Intel QuickSync. And in the future, we're gonna start seeing more laptops, more all-in-ones using newer Xeons that actually feature Intel QuickSync, like the Xeon E2276. Okay, so the third and final thing, Apple's macOS Video Toolbox. So this is a framework that allows direct access to hardware encoders and decoders. So the macOS version of Premiere has actually been built on top of these APIs and lets Premiere use Intel's QuickSync on the consumer-grade Core i5 and i7 CPUs. Whew, a lot of words here, but it also lets the AMD GPU import and export much quicker. Video Toolbox supports multiple codecs, but Premiere just supports H.264 and HEVC right now, but Premiere said they're looking for further support on other codecs for future releases. They've also done a lot of work with using multiple GPUs. So adding an eGPU to your workflow can actually speed things up even more. There's already videos on that, so I'm gonna link in the description below a helpful one for you to watch. Again, I think this video is already so long. Are you still here? If you're here, smash that like button and leave a note in the comments. That's like 20-minute club. So those are the three things that allow Premiere to really fully utilize Mac OS machines. Aren't you just glad that we just have to create and don't have to worry about making all of this work? I am. It seems like a headache. You want to be on the latest Mac OS 10.14 and also the latest Premiere, which is 13.1, and I think they've released several updates since making this video. So what we've learned from CUDA and Metal is it's obviously not just shoving in a bunch of specs into a laptop or a computer and expecting everything to just be dandy. It takes a lot of collaboration on all company sides, whether it's Apple, Adobe, AMD, NVIDIA, Intel. So many things to worry about, so many parts to get working together. I'm so glad Adobe is paying attention to this. Again, over the past couple of years, I have been included in this narrative of just like, man, I'm not seeing performance from my MacBook in regards to Premiere. So you've been listened to. If you have to have the MacBook Pro, it's not my cup of tea currently right now, but if you have to have it, you're in that Apple ecosystem, guess what? You can use Premiere confidently now. It might crash every now and then, but it's gotten better. It's gotten much better. And then of course, if you use Final Cut, you're just in your la la land. Everything is perfect and great. Congratulations. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful to cram all of this information and hopefully this short and sweet YouTube video. Let me know if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. Hopefully, if I'm not trying out like 6 different laptops. Oh my gosh. That Creative Life podcast is coming back the first week of September. We have Matt Diavella as the first podcast guest. Heck yeah. Yeah, hit that subscribe button. Stay peachy. What do you think about this? Comment below. Okay, bye.